Hey everyone, this is Greeney22 here, and today I'm going to be doing a thoughts and opinion, kind of like a review on Until Dawn. I've been playing the absolute shit out of this game for the past week since it's come out, and I'm really enjoying the game. I've enjoyed all the time I've been doing with it. I finally just got my platinum trophy in it, which I'm very glad with. But without further ado, let's get straight into this video. Before I do get into the video though, I do have to mention that it is very hard to capture gameplay from the game without actually spoiling any of the story. So I do have to slap a spoiler alert on this video for people who want to play it and haven't got around to it yet, but I will say just make sure you at least have some knowledge of the game before I start talking. So Until Dawn, it's a game that I found very, very interesting when it got announced, and also when the first gameplay was shown from it. It's essentially a game where you are playing 8 friends. They are all going into this cabin in the woods. It kind of has this really spooky type feel, and it's essentially a horror choose-your-own adventure. That's the best way to describe it. It has gameplay mechanics that are mixed between Heavy Rain, LA Noire, Beyond Two Souls, and I love those games. I love all 3 of those games. And this was like a perfect combination built into horror, and I love the horror genre as well. And I do have to say about this game that it captures that atmosphere incredibly. One thing in particular is the sound design of the game, and the sound in this game will creep you out. It has a fair amount of jump scares at some points. Episode 6, that's definitely one to watch out for. That is a very, very creepy atmospheric level. But let's get into the story. So the story itself, I found it really enjoyable, and the thing I love about this game is that it has a non-linear storyline. There's a ridiculous amount of endings, and the endings in the game they're all different, except the only downside of the non-linearity, if that is even a word, is the fact that when you are going to finish the game and you have, say, 3 or 4 characters left, there's this little bit during the credits where they're getting interviewed by police. So, and in this section, even if you complete it with all characters, or like 2 or 3 characters, every character always has the same lines. And I would have liked to have seen like some difference in there, and that would have been really cool to see that the actual outcome of the interviews in the end also affected the gameplay. So overall, the whole story, I think it was really enjoyable. It had a lot of twists and turns, and it was a fairly interesting story, and to see where it went and to see what happened in the game was really cool. Now, one thing I do want to talk about is the gameplay mechanics. The gameplay mechanics are they're essentially the same as a game like Heavy Rain or Beyond Two Souls, where both games are made by Quantic Dream. This isn't, however, except it is very in that genre of gameplay mechanics, where it's very much a movie where you play it. And I enjoy those type of games, and this game in particular struck a chord with me because I love horror movies. And the fact that my actions and the gameplay that I went through was different from so many other people. And the fact that it's so different from other people is that if you go on YouTube and you look up, say, 4 or 5 different YouTubers playing the game, it is very, very unlikely that the exact same thing will happen for all those YouTubers. And the fact that with this game, when it says this choice can go one way or another, it means that choice can go one way or another. It doesn't ultimately ultimately branches to one ending, like one way the game does end, but the way it encompasses that is it makes sure everything else in the game can be different. For example, I'm in my maybe 4th or 5th playthrough of the game now, and in the game I think it was in my 4th playthrough, I experienced a section of the game that I had never played, just because I didn't do something else. And I love that. The fact that whole entire parts of the game can be cut out, and all entire parts of the game can be put in, just because you make decisions. And that's the game that I've come to play and I've come to love. And now the most important thing, and something that I really loved, was the actual characters themselves. There was a lot of good dynamics, and I will say though, my most hated character, Emily for sure. She is a stuck-up bitch for starters, but that's too much on that. So anyways, but the characters are really well done. The graphics in the game is incredible, so the characters do look really nice and really crisp. And one last thing I do want to say before I end this is I do want to say that this game, if you want to play it, you should play it straight away. Otherwise, spoilers and spoilers and spoilers. That is all that's going to happen. And I have watched videos. I finished the game myself and then watched videos on YouTube of other people playing it, and people in comment sections always go, wait, why did this happen, why did this happen, I didn't see this, yada yada yada. That's because they haven't played through the whole game yet. And I really do advise that you at least, I don't know, rent it or Redbox the game, because this is a really enjoyable game. You will like it if you are a fan of games like Heavy Rain. And to be honest, for me, it's a near perfect game. It's my game of the year so far, but yet we still have Fallout 4, and that's going to be a huge game for me. And so is a few other games coming out this year. But overall, Until Dawn is probably my most enjoyable game of the year. It has a lot of replayability, so if you're in there for that, you're in there for that. And I'm actually just platinumed the game on my PS4, so I don't really have too much to do now. So I will say that even though there is a lot of replayability in the story, if you're looking at it for a completionist point of view, then there's only be about 3 or 4 playthroughs you're going to have to do. So I hope you enjoyed this. Feel free to like or subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.